Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Thanks for joining me on TCM and from my new set. After roughly a decade of my previous set away from home, we thought it was time for a new look, part of the overall refresh you're seeing on the channel. New logo, new graphics, new production design. But let me assure you about what's not changing. The mission the hosts here at TCM are honored to be carrying out, bringing you movies from Hollywood's golden age, putting them in their historical and cinematic context, and presenting them as they were meant to be seen, uncut and commercial-free. Our logo may be different, but we're still TCM, still 100% committed to make classic movies stay relevant and available as the world plows ahead with its smartphones, smart cars, smart watches, and, dumb decisions. The movies in our lineup tonight are linked in a clever way. This is a good one from the TCM programming department. The theme is Together Again One Last Time. These are films featuring great screen teams together for the last time. And we begin with the final pairing of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. From MGM in 1949, the Barkleys of Broadway. Astaire and Rogers appeared together for the first time in a 1933 musical, Flying Down to Rio. They weren't the stars, they had supporting roles, but their dancing stole the show. Over the next 6 years, they teamed up to make 8 more musicals together, and in the process became 2 of the defining stars of the 1930s. In the minds of movie fans everywhere, they were inseparable. They weren't Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. They were Astaire and Rogers, Fred and Ginger. Their 9th film together at RKO, the story of Vernon and Irene Castle, hit theaters in 1939 and marked the end of a wonderfully successful run. Not surprisingly, both stars were interested in expanding their careers and making a name for themselves outside of Fred and Ginger. Astaire continued to dance on screen in musicals with others, while Ginger Rogers pursued a career as a dramatic actress, which had been her goal. She succeeded quickly, winning the Best Actress Oscar for Kitty Foyle, released in 1940. There had been rumors toward the end of their initial 6-year run that there was some tension between Astaire and Rogers. Both denied it in their memoirs. Rogers described the relationship as cordial if distant. It was, and we can all relate to this, a good professional work relationship. Anyway, after Rogers saw Astaire and Judy Garland in a preview screening of their 1948 film Easter Parade, she sent Astaire a congratulatory telegram. Coincidentally, the Barkleys of Broadway was set to re-team Astaire and Garland, but Garland's physical and emotional state left her unable to make the film. So MGM producer Arthur Freed reached out to Rogers to see if she'd be interested in a 10th picture with Astaire. By the way, Garland and Rogers did have an icy relationship with plenty of backstage drama. More on that after the movie. From 1949, written by Betty Comden and Adolph Green, directed by Charles Walters, also with Oscar Levant and Billy Burke, the Barkleys of Broadway. As I mentioned before the movie, The Barkleys of Broadway, the last of the Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers musicals, was intended to star Fred Astaire and Judy Garland, but Garland couldn't make the film, so Rogers got the part and re-teamed with Astaire for the 10th and final time. Then, shortly after production got underway, Garland came to visit the set. She began kibitzing with the cast and crew. She was Judy Garland, after all. She can't exactly quietly blend in. Her presence there sent Rogers to the privacy of her dressing room. Ultimately, director Charles Walters had to have Garland removed from the set. The Barkleys of Broadway was the only Astaire and Rogers film not made at RKO. It was an MGM production. It's also the only of their films made in color. In 1950, the Academy awarded Fred Astaire an honorary Oscar presented to him by Ginger Rogers. In all his years of dancing, said Rogers at the Academy Awards, I don't think Fred Astaire ever made a movement that did not contain a hint of high art. He not only dignified dancing, as far as I'm concerned, he invented it. Up next, another final pairing of a popular screen team, Errol Flynn and Olivia de Havilland, in a Warner Brothers Western from 1941.